Is there room for compromise? Is there room for getting in there on certain issues and making things work? Because I mean that, I guess
compromise is the art of politics.
Right.
Is what most people say.
Right.
I wish that you would have asked that in there because that's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to draw on like a dry erase board. Mm-hmm. But what usually happens, and I'll go all the way over here, to the extreme right, and we can go all the way over to the extreme left. The extremes determine the middle. Mm-hmm. And so when we have people all the way over at the left, what we do is, this happens all the time at the state level and at the federal level as well. Mm-hmm. They'll say, we're hurting on a budget, or we're wanting to do this program, or we're wanting to do that program. And you Republicans or you conservatives, we're going to have to raise taxes this session. There's no way around it. And we're going to have to raise them $100 million to do what we want to do. Mm-hmm. Or we can raise them $50 million and maybe cut a little here and cut a little there and maybe add some fees on here. And we've missed the whole point. They've done this bait and switch type of philosophy to us. And they say, well, we're going to have to. And so we buy into the argument that we're going to have to. When, no, we don't have to. So when we have a surplus, it's just like the cuts right now that Obama's wanting to do. The cuts are not really cuts at all. It's still growing government, but just it's cutting. It's not wanting to do it as fast as what he wanted to do it.
Right.
And so as Republicans or as conservatives, Americans that are tired of being taxed and growing government too much, we have to get to the point where we say, okay, we're coming in. And we still have more money than we did the last session, at the Capitol that's buying, but now it's once a year. They're doing fiscal sessions as well. But we're going to come in and we're going to say, we've got a surplus of money. That means we've taxed the American people too much. We have more money in interest. We're either going to turn it back to them, no more pet projects, and we've tried to do this at the Capitol, but in the background, everybody wants to take money back to their district because that's how they get their votes. Sure. They can say, oh, I brought you this, I brought you that. And it's their money to begin with, so let's let them keep it. So if they're taxed too much, we need to say, okay, look, we have a surplus. Now this year, guys, and we need to take the bull by the horns and say, this means we're going to go public and we have a little extra money. We're either going to cut taxes $50 million this year or we're going to cut taxes $25 million. Now you take your pick. We need to have them compromising in our direction, not us always compromising in their direction. Mm-hmm. So the compromise needs to come back incrementally, if you want to say that, back to where we need to be. But there needs to be a wholesale dismantling of the federal government on their things, doing so many things that are out of the constitutional boundaries. It needs to be turned back more to the state and the local control of government.